And we all can use it sometimes in the sense of, especially as you mentioned, these are different times. And any help, any edge that we can get to help our children, help our students, reach for more, while in the process of growing through this situation, whatever situation, doesn't really matter. But to be able to learn how to overcome it, to be that seeker of knowledge, seeker of truth, seeker of expanding their growth, to have those type of programs, that is quite useful for parents. I could see where, especially how you mentioned helping the parents to look into themselves and getting in that more clarity as who they are as a parent, who they are as a teacher of that student. So I can see really the correlation of, if I work with myself, if I become better, then of course, as my children looking at me, then they will look to become better in their lives or
Right.
in school.
Right. And we, one of the things I hear a lot is, how am I going to teach them something I don't know?
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Especially with people who maybe have done poorly in a subject or something. There's a lot of anxiety and there's a lot of nerves that, how do I teach my child something I don't understand?
That's a huge topic in itself, because how do you, that's right? A person comes home with or they're at a level of calculus, but calculus is not something everyone is
right?
comfortable with. So, and a homeschooling setting, yes, there is support, there is tutoring, but you're right, they have to come up to become that seeker, so that instead of waiting for someone to give them that knowledge, based on what you were saying, let me seek help, let me seek the answers, let me seek the solutions, so that I can do well in the classroom. That's interesting.
And while we're seeking, it's okay to think outside the box. Let me give an example. I decided my children should speak Spanish. I think, I live in South Georgia. I figured that would be a great thing for them to know. So my two children that are left, my daughter's in college now, but my older son, my younger son, I don't speak Spanish. Okay. My older son had zero interest in speaking Spanish. My younger son was all for it. He's gung-ho, but, he's 7. He also wants to be a superhero. So what I've done is I went on to Google Translate and I got out my label maker and I have labeled everything. There's a label on our sliding glass door that says, glass door. There's a label on our refrigerator. There's labels. Our front door has one that says front door, one that says goodbye, and one that says go outside. Right? So
he's learning, yeah. So you're using the environment to ensure that he's learning, whether it's a different language or just learning about the door is door, whatever, but you're using the environment as a learning space, a teachable moment, really.
Yes, I'm using the environment to teach myself Spanish. And the boys are going, what is that? What is that you're learning? And I'm saying, oh, well, I'm learning how to say this. We made, white chocolate pretzels the other day as like a little craft thing. And the whole time I spoke in nothing but Spanish.
Wow.
Oh, these pretzels are frio, but the blanco chocolate is caliente, or, whatever it was. I'm not that good yet. We're still learning and seeking. It's a work in progress. But they want to do it now because I'm doing it.
You made it fun. You made it something that you were seeking, right? You made it interesting, and that's something that is a norm to do within the household. So of course, like you said, a child is going to say, "Hey, mom is doing it. I should try it."
And that's what we say. Learning doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be boring. Even math, even all the time we set up little stores, right? Mm-hmm. The boys love, and they're boys, so we've sold ray guns, we've sold Minecraft blocks, all of these little things that they build and they make, and they put little price tags on, and I get I'm gonna tell you, one of the biggest tips that I tell to parents is every parent needs a giant jar full of change. Because it's more fun for kids to work with real money. It is.
They want the real money.
And B, we've learned so many different things by setting up stores in our house.
That's a great idea. And I'm not sure if it's interesting that you're saying that is something you will see a lot of times. It's something that you have to be intentional to set up within the home, because it takes energy, right, to do the store, to label. Are you labeling like different items in the classroom?
You know what I do? And we don't have a classroom. We got a little house. So I have these little stickies, like the little sticky labels, right?
Yeah.
And I hand it to the boys, and it's not a thought out process. I say, "Do you want fun today?" And I hand it them, and they set all the prices, and then they get some money, or they'll do some chores. They'll do some chores and they'll get some money or whatever. It's an activity.
That's the key word, activity.
And that's a lot of the curriculum that we're building. We're building 2 curriculums, one for junior high school and one for elementary school, that we're going to be putting out next spring for the following year. And it's all based around this idea of project-based learning. Learning through doing something meaningful. And so the one for little kids, actually, my youngest son is going through as we speak. So obviously the boys are always the guinea pigs for all of my new ideas, because they're mine.
But they're learning so much, as you're saying. Even though you're saying they're guinea pigs, but you're taking all this creativity and you're actually seeing it at work. You're actually seeing it in action.
And now what's happening is the boys are coming to me and saying, "Hey, I think we should do this with that. I think we should do this." My youngest son loves superheroes. He is superhero to the max. And so I said, "Okay, you like superheroes? That's what we're going to learn next year. We're going to superhero it up." And I'm creating this whole curriculum around superheroes. So
that is cool.
One of his favorite is Ant-Man. I don't know if you know anything about superheroes, but
I do. Okay. I do. Iron Man, Ant-Man, all of them. Mm-hmm. Got kids too.
So we took Ant-Man and we took the Atom, which is like Ant-Man's DC counterpoint. And we have this superhero science book that we found. And we went to Osborne and we found an atoms and molecules lift the flaps. And we're doing this whole unit based upon the difference between Ant-Man and the atom. And why can't Ant-Man shrink to the size of an atom? Because he'll go into the, Ant-Man. But it's something they love.
Yeah.
We're learning math, we're learning English, we're learning science, we're learning social studies.
No, I love it. So now that you mentioned this, okay, you said project-based learning.
Project-based learning. Mm-hmm.
Without what's the other name besides project? If it's not project-based learning, how do you see, how are you identifying learning for students?
Well, okay. Learning, how I identify it is, are they growing? Mm-hmm. Are they growing creatively? Are they growing intellectually? Are they understanding concepts? But there's different styles of learning. You can learn through projects. You can do spiral type learning. You can do straightforward learning. Math, a lot of times, we use an actual regular curriculum for math. My younger son this year is doing Beast Academy, which is a math curriculum that we bought. It's comic book based, which is why we chose that one this year, because comics and superheroes, right?
And superheroes.
Yes. My older son is doing personal finance, is what we're going to study, because he's 16.
So he's going to the next level.
But he's done creative. So math tends to work on a more linear, and I try to stick with a curriculum for math. Everything else, I can teach and make curriculum according to their interests. We're just finishing up one for junior high and high schools called Country Plus curriculum, and it's based on creating your own country. And you create the country, and you create the people, and it's going to be government, it's going to be civics, it's going to be environmental science, right? It's going to be economics, all of these things. But instead of learning and going through an economics class and learning economics, and then you go through a civics class and you learn civics, and then you go, which is what happens at school a lot of times, is they take this class and this class and this class and this class, and they learn those things kind of parallel.
Yeah, or disconnected. Is what how you're sharing that. I mean, that makes perfect sense, because now there is the one main goal of creating this society per se that needs water, that needs math, so, all of the different governmental aspect of running the society. And so now mentally, I can see where all the connections are happening. It's like Legos, and you're connecting what makes sense to them. And so how you're sharing it, I would never forget it. I mean, that's genius, because I would see it as a city, right? And then just the city needs different, almost like every student is like a mayor to their curriculum.
It gives them ownership. If you capitalize on something your children already love, and that's where I tell the parents, when we start and they call us for a consultation, the first thing I ask is, tell me about your children. Tell me about your children, because you know what they love. You know what my older son right now, loves nothing but Minecraft. Nothing else. He would spend all day doing Minecraft if he could. And I said, all right, we're going to learn about Minecraft. He wants to be an architect. And so I found this, I don't have here, but I found this great book that's like a sketch type book all about architecture. And I said, do you want to be an architect? Great. Over the course of this year, you're going to build our new house.
Whoa.
Right? Because we rent right now. And our goal is, in our 5-year plan, is to build a house.
So he's going to put it all together.
I said, yeah. I said, if this is what you want, seek the knowledge. Seek it, learn it. You build it good enough, we're going to build it and live in it. I mean.
I know, I love it, because this is you believe in his dream. You're helping him to build his confidence. He's learning real time, real action. I mean, it's going to stick forever. And all it's going to do, if he really wants to be that architect, is really take all this knowledge that he's learned under you as a seeker of all this information and just expand upon it. I mean, what a great foundation.
I can't teach
that's a great foundation.
I'm not an architect. And that's where that's where we really help parents, is the idea that your child wants to be this. I can't teach you how to be an architect. I don't understand electricity. I don't understand anything that has to do with going into building a house. But I understand how to learn, and I understand you.
So with you saying that, even though you don't understand, basically, let's say him being an architect, how do you define success for that student? How do you define it, saying that, okay, I don't understand certain part of that subject, but I know he will succeed in what ways?
I know by the end of it, he'll know more than he started with. Will we end up with a fully formed architecture drawing of a house? Maybe, but
he will. I see it. I can actually see the energy. Yeah.
Because, and this is one of the things I talk about in my, the 90 Days to a Better Expression. There's a whole 10-day segment on learning to live the journey.